these. Guys, if you don't have Crocs yet, you guys need some Crocs. These things are so underrated. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Carney. On this channel, we make a lot of different kind of fishing videos, from bass fishing to musky fishing to now tip videos is what I'm doing in this video. Catch and cook's coming soon, by the way. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about bait size. So does bait size matter? Yes or no? It definitely does matter, just because you wanna target a certain bait size for what your end goal is. So if you wanna just catch a bass, say it's late fall, say it's the fall like it is right now, we have a pretty nice day for the fall, but say you just wanna catch one bass or you wanna catch one fish and you just wanna catch a fish. That's all you wanna do. Your goal is to catch a fish. Doesn't matter what the size is, doesn't matter any of that. You wanna catch one fish. Now, what I would do is I would obviously go with the smaller baits, just because those will attract more bites from all types of fish. The bigger fish could eat it, the smaller fish could eat it, and I have a good example for you right now. And it would be one of these guys right here. These are called the FINESSE TRDs, also known as the Ned rigs. Yeah, this is a 1/4 ounce weight with a TRD on it. It's a red and brown color, and I'm telling you guys, I probably caught 15 fish on this yesterday. Not big, but they were still fish. So that's why I like this type of lure. It is the fall. I can fish this in the summer, in the spring, in the fall, and in the winter, and I will always catch fish. And yeah, I have it on a bait caster. My spinning reel didn't come in yet, I'm sorry. This guy is an absolute killer in the fall, in the spring, in the winter, in the summer, just because it is so small and subtle. It doesn't have that much action, and it looks like a really, really easy meal for any bass to take it. That would be my #1 tip for, and a lot of other people's #1 tip for catching any bass, and that's the bait size, which is a very small bait size. So that would be my #1 tip for catching any bass any time of the year. So now we're talking about catching a big bass. This is where the bait size matters. Obviously, if you throw bigger baits, what are you gonna catch? Smaller fish? No, you're gonna catch bigger fish. So if you're targeting bigger fish and that's all you want to target all year, and that is your goal, say you want to catch a big fish, that's when you're going to want to throw something more like this. Something like a big swim bait, kind of like this shad swim bait, a great example of a lure to throw in the fall just because of the shad. Right there, a big shad swim bait. Or, so another good example is this right here. This is a big jerk bait, and what you're gonna do with this one is you're gonna jerk it and you're gonna leave it there for a solid 15 to 30 seconds, and then you're gonna jerk it again. That's how you catch these big fish on these jerk baits when it's really cold. When the water's a bit warmer, you don't have to leave as much of a pause, but that's just what I've had a lot of luck on, and I actually heard Andrew Flair say this exact same tip. So when it's cold, make sure to fish a jerk bait very slowly. Very slowly means you're jerking it once and you're leaving it there for 15 to 40 seconds even, and then you're jerking it again. But you know, if you're going for a bigger fish, go for the bigger bait. So now we're talking about plastics and jigs. A good rule of thumb is to always want to fish bigger, because a lot of bass are going to want those big meals to survive in the winter, right? So they're going to want big meals right before the water gets too cold. And this is a great example right here. This is the Zoom original green pumpkin chartreuse tail trick worm, and this is a big bait. Yeah, you put this on a shaky head. A Texas rig might work too, but if it's right before the water's really cold, we're talking about late fall, maybe early winter, this guy on a shaky head especially will probably get you a lot of big bass, just because how long it is, and that really subtle movement of the shaky head is gonna help that a lot. So good rule of thumb, fish these baits like this right before the water's too cold, and yeah, you'll have a better chance of catching a bigger fish, just because this is such a big presentation. What I'm trying to tell you here is when to throw each one. So like I said, bigger baits, try and throw. You can throw them all year round if you want, but I'm telling you, if you want to catch one when it's colder out, they really excel right before the water gets too cold. So we're talking about the fall, right to the winter, right to early spring actually. Those fish are gonna want easy meals. And I say it's an easy meal because the bass all year they're not really active. They're gonna be conserving all their energy, and they're not gonna be moving, right? So we know that the bass are reserving all this energy. Why are they reserving all this energy? They're reserving it so that when they have the chance that a big bait comes right in front of them, they can do one single attack and actually be able to eat your big jig or eat your big swim bait. That's why you should fish those big jigs really slowly, and they can just go in and grab it. That's why you have to slow roll your your swim bait very, very slowly when fishing in the winter. That's why you gotta be jerking your jerk bait every 30 seconds because of that reason right there. So they rather do one single attack than try and chase a little lure all over the place that you're fishing too fast. Now, like I said, the bigger fish might take your small lure, an easy meal, obviously, to eat the smaller lure, but if it's both right in front of them and it's the same distance, it'll easily go for the bigger lure just because it's more. They just want to take their lure and then go back and get through the winter. So to sum it all up, guys, bait size does absolutely matter. It just depends on what kind of fishing you're doing. I hope this video really helped you, just because a lot of people didn't know that the bass will be willing to eat a big bait right before the winter hits. So make sure to be throwing those big jigs, be throwing those big swim baits, make sure to be throwing those big worms like we have right here on shaky heads. And yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.